Hello everyone, my name is William, aka the Swedish Polyglot, and on this channel I talk about language learning, psychology, and philosophy. In this particular video, I will be discussing how I think one should approach learning any language. What is the most general approach one should have when learning a language, or for that matter, learning anything, any sort of learning project. So this is a very kind of an underlying or meta approach to learning anything, basically. And so what is this approach that I'm talking about? What you want to do is you want to build an iterative model of how you learn whatever it is you're trying to learn. So let's say, I'll take an example. So the second language that I acquired was Spanish. And so my approach when I learned Spanish was, okay, so I'm going to use Spanish as an experiment in order to learn how to learn languages. So I used Spanish as a way to build a model for how I can learn languages, right? And so that sort of thinking can be applied no matter what language you're learning. So what you want to do, you want to imagine that you're a scientist, right? You're trying to build a model for how you learn whatever it is you're trying to learn, whether it is a foreign language, learn to play piano, whatever. And so an iterative model. So iterative basically means that you have different versions that you're constantly upgrading, right? You're always so your first model might be your model for how to learn languages 1.0 or something like that, right? And as you research language learning, like general principles for language learning, how do you learn languages, right? You might look up, you might find books, you might listen to other people who spend time learning languages, and you collect facts and you collect these different theories, and then you try to construct like a model in your mind for how to learn languages, right? And as you do this, and as you perform experiments in your learning process, let's say, okay, I'm gonna read for 30 hours and listen for 100 hours, and then I'm gonna see what this does to my level, for example. So you can build this model in different ways by, for example, setting and testing hypotheses, sort of what activity will lead to what sort of progress, for example. You can also build your model by learning from other people, of course. It could be from scientific literature, it could be from just other people who spend time learning languages and they seem reasonable and have good theories. And so you want to take information from different places and then sort of synthesize it into your model. And yeah, so that's basically what I would say is the most sort of general approach I would use to learn basically anything. Right. And over time, you create new iterations of this model as you improve, sort of. And you improve the model by you're looking for limitations. You don't assume that your model is perfect. That wouldn't make sense, right? Because if you're starting out, or even I've been learning languages for 5 years now, and almost 4 years, I guess. But I'm always aware that it's very likely that my method will still have lots of limitations. And so I'm always looking for those as to create a new iteration of that approach, sort of. And it's sort of you're approximating a very good method by just improving it over time, right? You don't want to invest in one particular iteration. You really want to always look for ways of moving to the next iteration of your approach as to improve your learning process, right? So that's a fundamental principle of metalearning, building an iterative model of whatever it is you're trying to learn, and then improving that model over time. That is the definition of an iterative process. You're improving it in cycles. Okay, so that was all for this video. Thanks for listening. Leave a comment down below if you want to contribute to the discussion. Maybe you can help me move to the next iteration of my model if you have anything good to say. So I'm open to any ideas. So see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.